Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends Stiltman Build-A-Figure Wave Into the Spider-Verse movie Gwen Stacy figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
6 figures in the wave. You'll need all 6 figures to complete the Stiltman Build-A-Figure. And there's a quick look at the artwork on the side of the box. It is not the same on the left and the right flap. And there's a quick look at the front of the packaging. Alright, let's bust this bad boy open and see what's what. Alright, here we go. Gwen Stacy, aka Spider-Woman, aka Spider-Gwen. Her bio on the back of the package reads, intelligent and quick-witted, Gwen has a sharp sense of humor and is a natural leader. So here we have Gwen Stacy from the critically acclaimed Into the Spider-Verse movie, which released in 2018. She was one of the major supporting characters in this movie. In the movie, she was voiced by 23-year-old actress Haley Steinfeld, who will be reprising her role as Spider-Gwen in Into the Spider-Verse 2. Like pretty much all of the characters in the movie, she is based on her comic book counterpart, where she first debuted in Edge of the Spider-Verse #2 in 2014. Spider-Gwen is packed in with the torso to complete the Stiltman Build-A-Figure. Her movie design is almost accurate to her comic book design, except that the ballet slippers on the movie design, it more resembles just kind of Chinese, like blue Chinese slippers in the comic book. Typically, she isn't drawn with the straps in the comic book. We've known for years that in the Marvel Universe, there are several different universes, whereas the main universe for Marvel has been known as the 616 universe for as long as I can remember. This version of Gwen Stacy is not to be confused with the Gwen Stacy that was killed in the 616 universe as a result of Spider-Man's negligence, but she's actually an inhabitant of Earth 65, and in that universe she becomes Spider-Woman. 2 of her main antagonists are actually the Punisher and Daredevil, or Matt Murdock rather, and in that universe Peter Parker becomes the Lizard and is ultimately killed after his scheme to become the Lizard and get revenge on bullies backfires. The movie is based on the actual comic book series of the same name. Very similar ideas as far as the different Spider-Men and women from different universes converging on the one universe to fight a communal threat. If you haven't read that story, you should definitely check it out. It is very good. And just a few more character notes. She retains the same power set as Spider-Man, so superhuman strength and speed and reflexes and can cling the walls and all of that good stuff. In her universe, she is a drummer. She's part of a band called the Mary Janes. And I think Hasbro did a very nice job with the sculpt here, especially this head sculpt, which I think is phenomenal. She looks pretty much spot on to the animated series design, which does differ from her comic book look. In the comic book, she pretty much looks like Gwen Stacy from the 616 universe, but I think they did a really good job with the face scan technology here. This head sculpt is great, and one thing to note is that this head does pop off in the typical fashion as far as Marvel Legends go. It's not like Miles, which was a little different and won't allow you to do any head swaps. Out of the pack, she comes with 2 fists attached. She's also packed in with 2 whipping hands. And thinking back to those 2 fists, I'm thinking about the original comic-based Spider-Gwen that we got, and the fact that you only had 1 whipping hand and 1 fist with that figure, if I remember correctly. I believe this is our 3rd Spider-Gwen in the life of the Marvel Legends line. I'll break out what I have for some size comparisons shortly. But yeah, 3rd Spider-Gwen, not to be confused with Gwenpool, which is just a silly character, but I guess I'll break her out too. She's also packed in with an additional head sculpt, so you can simulate her hood being up and her mask being on. Basically, you need to remove the cowl around her neck, pop off the head, and then the head and hood is one piece here. And there's a look at that. That looks pretty good. And then her final accessory is actually another character from the movie and another character that absolutely appeared in the comic book story arc, and that's Spider-Ham. So we get a mostly static Spider-Ham here. Only the head moves. It's on a ball joint. You can pop this head off. So maybe there may be some potential for you to use this head on like a Nendroid body or something like that. I've seen people try stuff like that in the past, but the Spider-Ham movie design is slightly different from the comic design. And the comic-based Spider-Ham that we received actually has more articulation than this one, but they still both kind of suck in terms of articulation. I will say that this is very nicely sculpted and painted and looks really good though. There's another quick look at the crew so far. It's pretty cool that we got 4 characters from the team in this first wave. I'll be taking a look at Peter B. Parker next. And there's a look at Miles and Gwen side by side unmasked. You can see Gwen stands a little taller than Miles. I'm pretty sure she was supposed to be older than him in the movie. I'm not sure how it was in the actual comic book. I'm pretty sure she was older than him in the comic book as well, because Miles Morales was actually from the Ultimate Universe. He was younger than the Peter Parker Spider-Man from the Ultimate Universe, who, like I mentioned in Miles's review, he got killed. He actually ended up coming back though, but Miles is the one thing that actually survived, or one of the characters that survived from his particular universe and was brought into the main 616 universe. So my 2 major issues with this figure is that she didn't come with 1 additional set of open hands. Same thing that I said about Miles. She's got the 2 fists, the 2 thwipping hands. We needed 1 more set of open hands. These are very expressive characters that jump and flip, and that set of open hands really makes a character like this attractive and fun to play with as far as taking pictures and A.C.B.A. goes. The lack of articulation here is just so depressing. I really hate that they won't give you more with the female figures, but you saw the head was on a ball joint. She can look down and up, left to right, pivot. No real issues with the head, except that in certain poses you're gonna see that neck joint and that doesn't really look that good, but no hindrance as far as the head is concerned. No long hair. She's rocking the short cut. We saw why she had to rock the short cut in the movie, or why she ended up getting the short haircut, but this is very stylish, and I'm sure this reminds a lot of you guys out here of someone else with this hairdo. Shoulders on a ball joint. They're gonna come up very far. You can do a full 360. There is no cut at the upper bicep. You do get a single hinged elbow. No pins in the elbow though. You'll swivel there. It's a little more than 90 degrees. Swivel and a hinge on the wrist. This upper torso articulation is almost non-existent. You can't really do much except put her back and spin left to right, so that's unfortunate. Nothing at the ab, no waist articulation, T-joint at the pelvis, legs will come up far. They're rocking the barbell joint in there that they've been given to most characters. Upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee. You do actually get rotation here at the shin or the calf, and you get a hinge and a pivot on the foot. The lack of torso articulation is the problem. These are very agile characters that should be able to move more, and you know, the lack of articulation here is just whack. But again, this sculpt is really nice, including the derriere. Alright, so there is the comic-based Spider-Gwen on the left, and you can see how that unmasked head sculpt looks. It looks awful in comparison to the animated film version. The bucks are different too. I mean, I think I do remember Dwight saying that this was new parts and stuff for the animated film version. And you can see how the costumes differ slightly. The older comic version looks a little shiny. I prefer the more muted sort of flat colors of the animated version. It's just a better figure overall. Now we need a redo on the comic version, especially on that head sculpt. But one thing to note here, the neck peg on the comic version is very small, so you might be able to attach the animated version head onto here or just sit it on there. Yeah, you can't even do that because she loses the neck, so that's not going to work. And there's the movie head on the comic based body. It's just sitting on there, won't snap on, but that kind of works. And I lied. The head and hood is not attached together on the animated film version. They are 2 separate parts, so you can separate them. And also, unfortunately, you can't swap hands because the wrist pegs are different. The wrist peg for the animated version, that peg is a little thicker, and you won't be able to pop it into the wrist of the comic-based version. Also, real quick, this is something that we needed for Miles, is the ability to put a hood on him or simulate him having his hood up. There should have been a separate attachment and a way for you to take off the resting hood, but I digress. But there's the two side by side with their hoods and mask on, as well as the retro carded Spider-Man on the left and Miles with his mask on. Alright, I can't actually get to the Gwenpool figure right this moment, but screw that figure. But I did break out the Revoltech Spider-Gwen, and you can see how she stacks up with these here. They're almost all about the same size, the Marvel Legends regular comic-based version being the shortest, but you know, the Revoltech is not really made for vanilla posing, although it is one of their better figures in terms of still being able to look decent in a vanilla pose. And then I also broke out the old Netflix Jessica Jones body here and was able to pop the head right onto that peg. It fits, it looks good. She's a little taller than her suited up animated series version, but it can work. Yeah, I like this a lot. That looks cool. Now we gotta find a good all the way casual look for Miles with the proper sneakers. And another bonus here that really has nothing to do with this review, but you know I try to pack in little Easter eggs from review to review. So I just looked at the retro carded J. Jonah Jameson and was saying that I was pretty sure that the arms, sort of dress shirt, short sleeve arms, were the same sculpt as Claw, and it looks to be true. So I'm thinking that you could swap these four arms onto this body and give J. Jonah Jameson another look, and maybe put the vest on this body. I've seen some people turn this into a Peter Parker as well, so I might try that too. I'm gonna save that for another video, but the possibility is there. Alright, I'm getting up out of here. Again, I really like the sculpt on this figure. I really like the unmasked head sculpt, but the articulation leaves way too much to be desired for a super agile character like this. I really need Hasbro to step it up in 2021 and give us some new female body molds. Still a fun figure, still one I would recommend, and you're gonna need her if you want to complete the Stiltman Build-A-Figure. Just having a little fun here with A.C.B.A cutout. Just a friendly reminder that the Patriot and Serpent packs are back up on sale. You can buy both packs for a deal, and those cutouts in that pack are supposed to be character specific or G.I. Joe specific, but almost every cutout in the pack can actually be utilized for different things. This particular cutout is not in this set. This was part of a Deadpool pack that came out a year or so ago. But yeah, this is just put on here with a little piece of wax on the back. Make sure you angle it right when you want to use your cutouts. You want them to be horizontal. And that's that. Thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.
Stay out of my way. I'm in the game, I'm grinding. I got to play 24 hours in a day, 7 days out the week. I never sleep. I'm on my grizzly bear, 52 weeks out the year. Yeah.